I am Dr. Maanda Tshifularo, and on today's podcast, we are joined by Dr. Stephen Zwane, who is a thought leader, author, and founder of YLED, and the managing executive at ABSA, with nearly 2 decades of leadership experience across the banking sector. And in this episode, we unpack his latest book, Rising from the Township, which captures stories of trailblazing entrepreneurs who turned challenges into opportunities and offering lessons on resilience, innovation, and leadership. Dr. Stephen, welcome again to SuperLead Podcast.
Thank you for putting me on.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So you have written a fantastic book called Rising from the Townships, and then you chronicle inspiring stories of South African entrepreneurs.
Correct.
Now, the process of writing books, which I've done, it's painful, it's a lot of hard work, and there's a back and forth, and unless something is really important, I don't think anyone should go through that pain. Now, what's happening in our world, in our country, that necessitated another book in the shelves?
Yeah, I mean, when we spoke the last time, I was talking to you about my passion for entrepreneurship education.
Yes.
We dealt a little bit about what YLED is, what YLED does, and how we teach grade 11's entrepreneurship. And alongside that, I was busy doing my doctorate.
Yes.
I was doing my doctorate on the impact of entrepreneurship education on entrepreneurship action.
All right. Okay.
So that research, fortunately, I got to finish it in 2023. That's another story.
That process, that's a whole new process.
And you know all about it, and congratulations for achieving yours.
Thank you.
And I think there were a couple of findings from my research. One was, if you teach young people entrepreneurship at a younger age, their likelihood to have intention to be entrepreneurial is about 98%.
Wow!
And
that's a big shift.
That's a huge shift.
That's a monster shift.
The country is about 18% thereabout in terms of just that differential. But I think the one thing that was also quite interesting is that you have 98% wanting to be entrepreneurial, but the entrepreneurship action is about 15%. So the intention to action, the gap is too huge. Then I sought to understand what would be the cause. There are 2 things we found to be the causes. One, young people say, I don't have role models.
No way.
So we would not have thought that only 3 out of 10 will say, I've got someone I know who's an entrepreneur. Only 1 out of 10 will say, actually, I know somebody who's an entrepreneur. Meaning that 7 of the kids that we take through the process, this is a new process for them. And then the second thing that we found out is that they did not understand that entrepreneurship is hard.
So I also didn't. So I'm learning on the job.
And I think it is that then that I felt, what can I do?
All right.
And I thought, okay, everybody writes stories of entrepreneurs, mostly seasoned entrepreneurs who've already achieved it all, and maybe they're at the tail end of their entrepreneurial careers. But there aren't too many books that are looking at entrepreneurs that are still in the game.
That
life. Still have a lot to achieve.
Yes.
I said, if at all we write a story about them, which means whoever gets a hold of this book as a young person, they've got 10 role models.
Oh, that's so
Straight
good.
Away.
That is very good. That's very good.
And then they will find an entrepreneur there that they can resonate with.
Sure.
That maybe comes from the same environment as them. That is challenged and that is challenging.
Yes.
But that person has risen beyond the township.
Excellent.
And then they can learn about entrepreneurship being at the backdrop of our economy, but also as part of our ecosystem. However, it is hard. I think that's what we're trying to achieve.
That is excellent. And I imagine it's not just the young people that get the lessons.
Correct.
Is it also aimed at seasoned leaders, corporate people, academics, etc.? Maybe you say a word on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the manifestos that you find at the institution that we both call home, the founding fathers said, overnight success takes 15 years. So a lot of the entrepreneurs that we get to start to celebrate, we don't know what scars they have gone through. And to a certain extent, it is those scars that make other people not to follow entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So this book is for everyone.
Right.
This book is for an entrepreneur who's out there and wants a strategy of how somebody did it.
Sure.
They don't have time to go to class. So they can read a book and say, okay, I think I can resonate with the strategy so and so adopt it.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of entrepreneurs have told us many times that their mentor was always a book, someone's book.
Oh, wow.
So which means now we are saying this book can be a mentor to someone who's really at it in the field.
Sure.
There are also human spirit lessons here that apply to everyone.
Say slowly, human spirit lessons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we talk about human spirit lessons here, we are referring to at some point when you think you've had it bad,
Yeah.
read about these stories here, you'll realize where these humans have come from.
Sure.
They've come from environments where nobody thought there could be anything.
Sure.
And they've risen from those environments to be great.
Sure.
We've known those stories from a leadership perspective, but not so much from an entrepreneurial story.
Very good. Very good.
What has also changed is that we are seeing a lot of entrepreneurs introducing a new game.
Okay.
That new game is that I sell my story.
Okay, say more.
So if you look at the new age shoe sneaker manufacturers,
Yes.
the like of Theo Baloyi of Batu, the likes of Temba,
Yes.
from a VIA perspective, and of course from Mr. Zwane himself, Ligao, from a drip perspective. They first led with their story before people could buy into the products.
I understand.
And they are leveraging social media, new age media to tell the story of their journeys. And now a lot more entrepreneurs know that they can tell their story. Some of them don't know how to.
Sure.
And then they can learn from the entrepreneurs in this book.
Excellent.
My biggest interest is always young people.
Okay.
The reason why I'm always interested in young people is that the unemployment rate of 60% of young people is a sign that we've not created enough corporations and we've not created enough small businesses for young people to be absorbed. So now the ball is in their court.
Sure.
How do I choose entrepreneurship as a career pathway for myself?
Sure.
And that is why, for me, the vision is that if this book can be in every high school,
Oh man, that's
every
good.
youth formation, and that's really what we are
very
going for with the
good.
book. Yeah.
That's very, very good. Now, love the background to the book. There's 10 stories.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if there were a couple of common themes or some big themes that sort of rises to the top, and then we can discuss those, and then after that we can maybe deep dive into a couple of stories.
I'll take one that is very common with each and every one of them, which is found in Sarah Sarasvathi's theory called effectuation theory.
Okay. There's a big word. Some of us are simple people. Just say more.
So Sarah Sarasvathi is an academic who was born in India and went to study in the US. She was curious about what makes successful entrepreneurs tick.
Okay.
And one of the biggest lessons that she documents out of the 5 key steps is that they start with what they have.
Sure. Good.
So which means it's called that a bird in hand. So what we found about all these entrepreneurs here, no one waited for a bond, for a loan from financial institution or anything. They started with what they have.
Sure.
And so, for example, we talk about here Veronica Mutloutsi, who runs Smart Digital Solutions. She was an executive at Vodacom. And she knew technology as a CIO and an experienced technologist. And one of the things she said, I've got all these skill sets. How do I create access to technology for many people?
Sure.
She said, I've got the skill sets.
Right.
I've got the experience.
Yeah.
I've got the network.
Okay.
I will use that to start a business. So that's really the core of the biggest lessons that come out of here.
No, wait.
Okay.
If you can see that camera there, right? This one here. And then I just hope you could sort of talk directly to the camera and just kind of say to someone, wherever you are, like what you just said, but as if you're just telling them or putting a recommendation in front of them, like directly there.
I think for me, I want to go to the young people. I want to go to the disgruntled employee who says, I want to go out there and do something for myself. I want to go to the person that's retrenched and is about to earn money. And I want to say to you, if you want to be an entrepreneur, start looking within, start with what you have. amazing entrepreneurs, great, that you can come across, that you can read about. They started with what they have, whether it's skill sets they had, whether it's financial capability they have, whether it's talents that they had, and they turned that into a fledgling entrepreneur, into a fledgling enterprise. And you can do that. However, it takes time to fully understand what you have, because you can make a mistake and think that I've got something that you don't have.
Sure.
So that's something of
Just help me with an example with that, because that's a powerful conversation.
I mean, one of the first things here is that a lot of people, when they're retrenched, think I've got money. and then they think, okay, with the money that I've got, I can multiply. They've never been able to multiply their own income. And now they think I've got money and I'm gonna get into an Uber business, or I'm gonna invest my money here, and they lose it all.
Sure.
So that person would have thought to themselves, I've got something, I'm gonna start with what I have, and that's the money.
Sure.
And entrepreneurs always spend money that they are willing to lose.
Right. I mean, you're just dropping such big. I was like, you must talk, and then we must pause. We must have a cup of coffee.
No, not a problem. I'm very passionate about this, Maanda, and I think that is why I'm saying when for example, we go into the story of Sheldon Tatchell of Legends Barbershop.
Yes.
So at 14, he gets gifted a pair of clippers.
Yeah.
And then he starts learning how to cut hair.
Yes.
And this, he does it for leisure reasons and also for just complementary income at home.
Yeah.
Later on, when he thinks he wants to become an entrepreneur, he remembers, I've got a skill to be a barber.
Sure.
If I use the skill to be a barber, I might convert this into something amazing.
Excellent.
He's practiced it before.
Sure.
He knows what it's like to make money out of being a barber. Okay. Now he's willing to commercialize it.
Excellent.
So he started with what he had.
Yeah.
And then said, I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah.
And also, he then tested if there's any demand for my skill set.
Okay.
So when you test if there's any demand, people were coming in their numbers. So he started cutting hair in the stoop of his home, and people were coming. Yeah. Then he moved and said, what if I rented a small space? Will people keep coming? Yeah. And people kept coming. Yeah. Then he said, maybe the skill set can give me money.
Sure.
So that's starting with what you have. I want to fast forward to Nozipho Shabalala.
Yes.
I want to mention her.
You launched a book.
Because she recently launched a book called After the Fires. It's an amazing book. Okay. That was stimulated by the chapter that we had of the story in here.
Oh, beautiful, man.
And I think for me, what Nozipho said, she said, I'm a broadcaster.
Yes.
And I get invited to moderate.
Yes.
In spaces that I never would imagine I would be. And I understand what's like to choreograph a conversation. What if I converted this into a pioneering service that I can give to people?
Sure.
And then he decided, I'm going to use my skills and capabilities. I'm going to give myself the one shot to make it work. Yeah. And today, she's the go-to person to moderate top-end conversations.
Absolutely.
She claims 80% of her work is outside the country. She operates in a dollar-dominated industry.
And she spends her money in rent. She's my role model.
All of us actually look up to her. We love the community she's built. So that's what we mean by the entrepreneurs that were found to be common here. They started with what they had.
Right. So love this. And I just wonder some of the lessons we can pull for leaderships and leaders all over the world.
Correct. This
idea of resilience.
Sure.
What could we learn from these entrepreneurs about resilience and what that looks like in the coalface?
You know, everybody who's learned about entrepreneurship or has come across a story, they will always tell you that entrepreneurship is about resilience.
Sure.
But we also know that anything in life is about resilience.
Yeah.
That you encounter obstacles. Yeah. The issue is, do you give up or do you keep going forward?
Sure.
And I think for me, the issue of resilience is a trait that we first and foremost as South Africans know too well. Okay. We've always had to resist against systems many times and keep going because this idea of living, this idea of a better life is innate in us.
Yes.
Our organizations continue to thrive because they are resilient.
Yeah.
And so we as a people have it in us to be resilient.
Excellent.
And so that trait of resilience is true here because some of the entrepreneurs had to start 4, 5, 6, 7 businesses before they found that unique idea that they're willing to pursue.
Sure.
But here's the uniqueness about the resilience of the entrepreneurs in this book. maybe not unique, but maybe normal to all of us South Africans, they will trace back to say, I sold sweets in high school.
Sure.
I have my mom sell amakwinya. I swapped for my mom at a domestic worker business,
Yes.
or domestic worker working place. They all would have done something enterprising much earlier.
Excellent.
Even leaders, at some point before they rise to the top of their roles, they had to deal with a lot of demotion that happens, lack of trust, lack of belief, or too young,
lost jobs,
negative,
roles,
and having to restart again after their jobs they've been lost or they've been retrenched, but they keep going.
Yeah.
So for me, one of the biggest things here about resilience is coming in. Maybe the biggest story of resilience is the Rita Zwane of Busy Corner.
Tell me more.
So Rita Zwane is a story of a woman who worked after matric as a teacher.
Okay.
Back then, the laws allowed you with matric to be a teacher.
Yes.
But only on the precursor that you never fall pregnant.
Okay.
If you do fall pregnant out of wedlock, that career of a teacher is gone. So Mazwane suffers that fate. She falls pregnant in the first year of working as a teacher and has to be sent home packing to figure out, what do I want to do with my life? And then she gets a call to come to Joburg. On the pretense that there's a job, but they know that is because they just want to get her to Joburg to try and figure it out. She leaves a 6-month baby home and comes to Joburg and works at the hair salon, sells clothes, waiter jobs, does all of these things for many years, trying to figure out what is it, that thing that stands out for me.
Yeah.
Until she bumped into the idea of Eshisanyama.
All right.
So that journey of trying to sell clothes, that journey of waitering, that journey of working at the hair salon, and also working as a secretary until you find that one great opportunity you went for.
Sure.
Many people have given up.
Sure.
Many people have said, I'm going to just stay in this job and I'm not going to go anywhere. Her resilience has introduced to us the idea that Shisanyama can be a business.
Sure.
So she pioneered that industry.
Wow.
But if she had given up, she would not have the pioneering opportunity of knowing that Shisanyama is now a subsector in the food and beverage industry because she started.
Oh, stunning. There's something else I'm learning around just that resilience of the idea.
Yeah.
While you're a secretary,
Correct.
but like even with small embers, keeping that little fire on for as long as it takes for the right opportunity, for the right time, for everything to come around, for you to be able to launch it.
And I mean, sports teaches us a lot about resilience because you go into a game, at some point you might lose.
Not unless you're Sundowns.
But at some point you might lose. I'm not going to get into the politics of football. And we tell young people that you will at some point have to deal with disappointment.
Sure.
You must have the reserve tank in you to be able to deal with disappointment.
Sure.
Because if you find that too late in your life, you won't know how to recover.
Okay.
So the resilience bone that is in all of us tells us that I must always expect failure, but I'm going to always aim to win.
Okay.
So that's what we're saying about being resilient.
Excellent. So now you touch on to another topic, which is failure.
Yeah.
The statistics are just alarming.
Yeah.
And whatever the right number is,
from
what I can gather, it's on the up. It's just too high.
Yeah.
The failure rate of SMMEs, in particular in South Africa. So when someone reads this book and they're inspired by 10 people, how do they reconcile the 10 fantastic stories and the 80-90% of failure rate of companies within their first 5 years, whatever the exact number is?
Yeah.
How does one reconcile this two? I'm inspired here, but I am confronted by a harsh reality of a high failure rate.
So I think first and foremost, whoever's going to read this book will know that failure is part and parcel of the process.
I see. Very
so firstly,
good.
you must embrace that.
Excellent.
And secondly is that failure will come in multitude.
Okay. What an encouragement. Okay.
There could be failure to get support.
Sure.
You can say to someone, I want to be an entrepreneur. They say, who do you think you are? You're Maponya now.
Geez.
And so you're going to have to overcome that because our own homes have never looked at entrepreneurship as a possibility. Entrepreneurship was something to run away from.
Yes.
Because when we were growing up, entrepreneurship was defined by the informal traders that sold on the side of the road.
Yes.
Nobody understood that the economics of the side of the road business is bringing food in the house.
Sure.
It's taking somebody to school.
Sure.
It is still an enterprise.
Right. Very good. Without the glitz and the glamour and the logos and
Correct.
the billboards.
But because we didn't see it that way,
Sure.
we always wanted to run away from it.
Sure.
And that is why a lot of us professionals still see our own mothers sell that way when we can improve those businesses ourselves.
Sure.
And then because in our minds, we haven't reconciled the fact that we are here to enable, to empower, and to improve.
Sure.
It shouldn't be the case. When I was small, my mom used to sell this way, and I'm big, and I've got an education as a product of this, and I'm not able to make a change. But we leave it at that. So that's the first thing about the failure, which is the mindset failure. The other failure that comes in is the fact that I don't have all the tools that I need to succeed.
Right.
So
you
therefore,
will not
I'm
have all the tools.
hustling.
Okay.
I am hustling. I don't have the entrepreneurship education. I don't have the financial know-how. I don't have the network, but I'm hustling it.
Okay.
So that is a fight that you are having because the likelihood of failing is high.
Sure. So, okay.
The other one is really about the fact that it's a competitive world. Entrepreneurship is a competitive world. You may be number one today, tomorrow somebody will overtake you. You must be prepared to say, I must adapt and adjust so that I must overcome failure.
Okay.
Failure is always the risk you are facing. It's how you adapt and adjust to it.
Excellent.
Failure is that,
So failure is part of the story.
part and parcel of the story.
But you were touching on these mindsets that have grown on us.
Correct.
And I wonder if we can have a conversation a bit about I think even me, I don't know about everyone's education, but I think I had this view that I'll go to school, I'll go to university, and then I will get a job.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if there are entrepreneurs who have been indoctrinated this way and still stuck potentially in corporate because that mindset shift hasn't happened.
Correct.
What say you?
The main thing about a mindset is that it gets passed on as a norm, as a culture.
Sure.
Entrepreneurship is not for us. We tell ourselves. And therefore, the only gateway is go get a job.
Sure.
So that mindset is so ingrained in us that you then always are made to stand out as an entrepreneur when you think you are better.
Sure.
So you must overcome that mindset. And also why I'm interested in high school is because that is when you are supposed to make choices.
Yes.
So the choice you make is because you've met an engineer. You
Yes,
don't want to be an
because
engineer.
we will go. We've gone to the schools and say, look, I drive a Ford Focus now, and I studied chemical engineering.
Yeah.
Go study it.
Correct. So now if we bring entrepreneurs into the classroom
Excellent.
and say to the young person,
Excellent.
entrepreneurship can be a career
Oh,
path,
stunning.
we are
man.
now shifting the mindset.
Very good.
But also as we grow up and start running businesses, we don't even know how to buy from each other because our mindset is that we are not supposed to be like that.
Sure.
And so the reason why we said rising from the township, we are saying you don't have to say township economy only because it's in the township.
Okay.
The person who's risen beyond the township is telling you that they already have a different mindset. Wow. They've gone in to run an enterprise in spaces where we would ordinarily not be running an enterprise.
Sure.
So it's possible for you too.
Excellent.
So on my way here, I went to see an entrepreneur. His name is Emmanuel Mukosi.
Okay.
Emmanuel Mukosi runs a speed camera making business.
Speed camera making business. Yeah. They make speed cameras.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So they sell to the transport department.
Wow.
And the business is 5 years old and it's thriving.
Excellent.
And he will tell you that I grew up as a taxi driver.
No way.
And I went and became a financial advisor.
Okay.
I went into the speed camera business to sell for other people. I realized I can make this for myself. Wow. Now, those stories, we don't tell them many enough.
Sure.
We arrive at the look how much I'm earning.
Sure.
We don't talk about the journey and the story. That's how we deal with mindset. The research I did for my doctorate was there are really two key elements that changes your outlook to entrepreneurship.
Say more.
Firstly, it's just exposure.
Lovely.
It is just knowing someone who's done it.
Yes.
It is seeing it happen in front of you and around you.
Yeah.
And then it's no longer a big misnomer to do it.
Sure. Beautiful.
And then that increases your ability to be entrepreneurial. And then the second one is about the skill sets, which you all can learn along the way.
Right.
Our argument is keep teaching entrepreneurship and never get tired.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Now, I must tell you, on the first one, even when I was in corporate, I'll play golf in one of these golf clubs that is largely one demographic or tribe or something, and most of the people I played golf with is my best buddy as well. We'll play golf, and then almost everyone there, they ran businesses.
Yeah.
And then they were like, so, Maanda, what do you do? You're like, I'm a general manager. And then this one runs a printing company, this one runs a marketing company, and this one runs. And just over time, it does just filter into your system and your psyche that these buddies of mine, they're not general managers.
No. And I think that's why I'm saying that maybe the young people are looking at us, the ones that are unemployed graduates, and saying to us, you lied. You said if I do this and do that and do that, I'm going to go and get a job and I'm going to be good and I'm going to be rich and I'm going to be somebody in society. Now, I don't get the return on investment.
I see.
But we cannot be too hard on ourselves. We have to deal with these things systematically. And so this is why we are advocating for entrepreneurship education, entrepreneurship role model, to never be tired. It's about a change management process.
Sure.
When you introduce a new strategy, one of the first things you must keep repeating it until everybody gets to understand what it is. Have what are champions that help you champion that. And in this book, we've got champions.
We do.
Through the Saturday School program where we advocate for the training of entrepreneurship.
Slow it down and just say what that Saturday School is.
Basically, for the last 21 years, I've had the privilege.
You look 21, but okay, let's go.
I've had the privilege of saying to me, what is the one problem that I wanted to solve? I thought if I went to my younger self, being raised in a township and going to township school, what is the one trait that I would have loved to have heard? Which was confidence.
Whoa. Okay.
I would have loved to just have confidence.
Right. Okay.
So I then said, everybody back then in 2002, 2003, 2004, we were all told we need extra maths, extra English, when all we needed was just somebody to give us a chance to understand ourselves.
Extra confidence.
And be confident in ourselves. Confidence comes in two ways, exposure and language.
Right. Just elaborate, please.
If I'm exposed to someone who's been great, coming from my own environment, I can believe I can be great too.
Stunning.
The second thing is that if at all the language of communication that's spoken internationally is English, then I can fit in anywhere.
I am with you.
So that's what we're solving for the last 21 years.
Okay.
We take grade 11s, we teach them for 10 months, and the conversations about personal branding, personal mastery, and then say run a business for the next 3 months.
Excellent.
By the time you come out on the other side, you know that entrepreneurship is hard. You know that it's about sales, it's about teamwork.
Yes.
But your ability to communicate, your appetite for problem solving, your ability to dream about your better life for yourself because you've built a vision board changes this. Wow. So you can lift yourself out of poverty, you can lift your family, you can lift out your community. We have seen young people do that. And so we are not saying entrepreneurship education is key for the sake of it. We've got evidence of 21
Lovely,
years.
Man. And then, so they come to school every Saturday?
Every Saturday. They wake up every time and they come to a Saturday school intervention and they get taught and they keep coming. Every time they keep coming, the burden's on you to better your offering. Wow. When you better your offering, they keep coming. Because young people have got a choice to be on their social media or to wake up and be there at 9 o'clock because they're going to be taught until 2.
Sure.
So if they keep coming, it means that
there's something there in the
Correct.
And you've been doing this for 21 years. So 21 years.
Yeah, last year the idea turned 20. I excluded myself out of it.
Yeah.
I'm now just a volunteer.
Yes.
And the young people are running it.
You don't say. That's just so good.
And all the young people that were previous beneficiaries are coming
They're
back,
coming to
and now
reinvest.
they're giving back to the next generation. And
It's
so
just nothing better.
these are the communities that we're aiming for. What I'm simply saying to professionals, to anyone listening to us, all I want you to give a gift of entrepreneurship. This is how you give a gift of entrepreneurship.
Yes, please. You might even want to go back there.
Giving a gift of entrepreneurship is as follows. Firstly, get a book. Find a community that you know and go donate the books to them. When you do donate the book, tell them about your own rising from the township story. Let them be inspired by your story. Leave them with this book. It comes with a workbook. You can leave them with a workbook to complete. Come back three weeks later and say, what have you learned? You would have done an entrepreneurship volunteering with that particular effort. Our goal is that you can read a story and tell it yourself. You can empower many young people to know that entrepreneurship is an option in South Africa. The good thing about it is that South Africa has agreed and allowed itself from a policy point of view to integrate entrepreneurship education into South African high schools.
Excellent.
It is one of the commitments from the Department of Basic Education.
Good.
They've even built a 10th ministry called 3Es, whose mandate is to integrate entrepreneurship education in South African schools. We have had the opportunity of delivering this on the sidelines. Can you imagine it become to mainstream? Wow. It's going to take time, but join us on the sidelines for now while we make a difference. One of the things I've learned since we launched the book is that affluent members of our society say our kids went to affluent schools. Yeah. They are sitting idly at home. Yes. How can we bring this book and tell them that they can be entrepreneurs?
Oh, excellent.
Which is then one of the things that I don't want us to leave out, or one of the lessons here, is that the relationship between entrepreneurs that rise from the township and money is an enemy relationship.
Say more.
I don't remember any of these entrepreneurs in this book who were financed for their businesses.
I know many of these faces.
You know many of those. They all had to take money from their own pocket in some shape or form. You know why? Because when we were growing up, banks were never seen as accessible to black entrepreneurs. Just like we saw the mother sell food on the side of the road and said, this is not entrepreneurship, we saw people's houses being repossessed by the bank. We saw cars being repossessed by the bank. We said, this is not a friend. Sure. And so our relationship with credit is very negative. Sure. And it was, for me, startling that in this book, a lot of these entrepreneurs have had to grind for financials. Sure. And to be able to finance their businesses because our systems are not open and friendly to them. Okay. And even it's crazy that to this day, if you ask an entrepreneur, do you think the bank is open for you? Do you think there's access to financing? They'll tell you it's not there. Because we've never changed our mindset around credit policies.
Who now? The banks and or the people? I can see it from the people. Yeah. Who hasn't changed?
I don't think that banks have gone on to reach entrepreneurs and take the margins. They want just the finished product of an entrepreneur. Sure. Do you have a business plan? Do you have a track record of doing it? Okay, we can finance you.
That's the final product.
That's the final product. Whereas these people need to start from scratch. Sometimes they just need 5,000. Sure. And then the bank says, no, we don't go for that little money, we need more. This is not a jab to the banks, but it's more the challenge that says maybe we haven't done our financial inclusion very well enough. And so if at all we read stories like this, it's an assurance that to a certain extent, we will keep not having enough small businesses. We are guaranteed because the financial institutions are not meeting entrepreneurs where they are. Okay. The entrepreneurs that have easy access to financials, to banks, to financial institutions are the ones you play the golf with. Because when they were growing up, they met enough CEOs, enough entrepreneurs, it became a norm to them. Jeez. Okay. So they built the network, the relationship, and the language. One of the first articles I wrote was that we don't even talk about entrepreneurship in the dinner tables. Yes. So if we don't talk about it, how can
that's
it be?
If we have a dinner
So I'm hoping...
That's if the concept of a dinner table is also a thing.
I think that's the biggest challenge. I think that's a mindset part we talk about. I'm hoping, though, that When you become data-led, you then can look at the data and say, why should these entrepreneurs spend their money to start a business? And what can we do to meet them halfway? And also the challenge of why people are surprised why entrepreneurs don't want to formalize their businesses.
Yes.
Is because it's just a scary relationship. I start a business and then SARS come take money. And then they can see what's happening in the bank, and therefore I'd rather work outside the ecosystem. So for me, I'm just hoping that I hope we are not glorifying the idea that hustle to get the money, because that's what these entrepreneurs do. But also maybe one of the things we need to do is to say, okay, how do we make it easy for these types of entrepreneurs to access capital so that they can have working capital for their businesses? The idea of failure. Entrepreneurs don't fail because there's no market. They don't fail because there's no business. They just don't have working capital.
Sure. So I imagine there's an entrepreneur here.
Yeah.
And there's a funding institution.
Correct.
Who must move where? Should the funding institution move to meet the entrepreneur, or possibly they must both move towards each other, or maybe the entrepreneur must move to the institution and formalize and do all the things? Who do you see making the biggest leap here?
As an entrepreneur rising from the township, I don't look at the bank and say, I'm going to get support there. So this is
gone. This is gone.
I'm not going to get support. I'm not going to go there, and therefore, but the institutions want to be able to fund entrepreneurs.
Because when I speak to the institutions, and sometimes when we teach, they want to support entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
they've got departments and well written out documents to say we want to win in the SME space.
In this day and age, you still want a business plan from the entrepreneur.
Sure.
You don't say to the entrepreneur, come, I'll help you build a business plan. You need to put them in a program first. They must qualify. They must go through many hoops. And sometimes they don't have the luxury of it.
Because they must be out there on the street selling.
To survive. So it's easy to be theoretical. Let's be practical. There's an entrepreneur here. Her name is Candice Thurston. Candice Thurston is the brains behind Candy & Co. So
I see.
Candice says, I go to this hair salon every time.
Yeah.
I go to this particular person who does my hair because she understands my hair better, but there are not too many.
Okay.
So if I'm traveling, I don't get many of these.
Sheesh.
How do I solve the problem of people that can look after my hair?
Yes.
She sees a survey that says we are looking to franchise.
Okay.
She says, okay, they're looking to franchise. I'm going to apply.
Yeah.
She presents a business plan. She says, here's my plan. I want us to go to build a survey, to build a Candy & Co.
Yeah.
The funder says, more than happy.
Yeah.
We'll invest maybe 60%. You bring the 40%.
Yeah.
She then takes her own money.
Yeah.
And then invests in this business.
Okay.
She's got an investor who's already has a muscle.
Yeah.
By the time the business is sold, she has made a lot of money out of that business enterprise.
Excellent.
So now that's a different funding model. It means there's already an entrepreneur who says, I'm going to back you up.
Yes.
So they didn't say, I'm going to go to a bank, I'm going to find. The entrepreneur said, I'll back you up. Let me give you another story. Sheldon, now is starting to run his business.
Yes.
He says, I'm going to take out my money from my pension and I'm going to invest. Yeah. The only time I'm going to go ask for is a personal loan, because I can ask for a personal loan on the basis of my income, and therefore get the 3,000 personal loan I'm going to put into the business. Okay. So we are always erring on the side of personal buying, because then there they can buy. They trust more the pay slip than they trust the business on the field. Now we've gone into a world where I simply say that we still have a long way to do financial literacy and get it right for entrepreneurs. Okay. A lot of businesses that fail are not failing because there's no market, are not failing because the product is not right. They are failing because they don't have the working capital to keep them going.
So what must they do? So there is a ton of working capital here, I presume.
Yeah.
But the entrepreneur sitting here, what could they do?
I want to make you an analogy without answering a question. A lot of the people go home December holidays, and they are sitting at these pit toilets. Yeah. Right? Yeah. They come from Fourways, Sentin, wherever, and they get home and they sit on these pit toilets. For years, that was acceptable.
Yeah.
But what has prevented them from putting a flushing toilet?
Yeah.
Isn't it the mind?
Yeah. Yeah.
As Imperium Teto, one of the guys in the social impact space, has decided to put toilets for people who are 70 years and above in the rural areas.
Okay.
Their children, when they see this, they say, how come I've never thought about this for long? So, meaning that we know a problem needs to be solved. We've got a dissonance with that particular problem.
Sure.
Because we know if we go and get so and so and so and so and so to bank with us, we are good. But we didn't go and solve the root of the problem back at home.
I see.
It's not like we don't have credit people that are black that don't know that how hard it is to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But for some reason, our minds haven't shifted.
Sure.
That we can make the economy better by contributing in those in a different way.
Yeah.
So I did not answer you.
Yes.
I'm just saying that sometimes our minds need a little bit of a shift.
Okay.
We keep pulling out stats and say thriving economies rely on small business.
Yes.
But we've got a 10.2% conversion rate.
Yes.
That's why we don't have enough businesses. When you're contending with countries that are about a conversion from intention to action that's about 50% to 80%. And so our economy is shrinking because we are not enabling small businesses. And we are just here saying, here is the problem. Resilience can only take you up to this far.
Sure.
But you need somebody to hold your hand.
Sure.
And so when you get into here, know that somebody can hold your hand.
Sure.
That is why we've been told when we taught about entrepreneurship that entrepreneurs start at the age of 35 and 45.
Okay.
Because they've learned the experience, they've got the experience, they've got networks, they've got relationships, they can easily knock on doors and the doors would open.
Yeah.
But we cannot afford that in our economy. We need to start that early.
Sure.
But we must create an enabling environment too.
Sure. So a thought or two to the institutions that are able to fund entrepreneurs, but they are not maybe still requiring onerous, documentations or a whole range of other things. So what might you say to them? Also being maybe considering that we are in a high interest rate environment compared to sort of some of the countries where money is relatively cheap, if it were.
I think rethink your financial inclusion strategies.
Say more.
I was talking to a group of students I supervised yesterday who are in the insurance industry.
Yes.
I asked
the most noble industry in the world.
I asked them to go and just review the social impact strategies of their companies that they work in, and find out if at all any of them are giving a 1-year free insurance to small businesses.
Geesh. Is that what they must do?
I think that's what they must do.
Okay.
Because COVID has told us that business can disappear tomorrow.
Yeah.
Worse so if you didn't have insurance.
Yes.
In a very high crime environment that we're living in, a lot of entrepreneurs are disheartened that they can lose their products tomorrow.
Sure.
And they don't even have insurance.
Sure.
So for me, financial inclusion in the insurance space should be redirected to giving insurance to small business.
I am with you.
Because that's rethinking financial inclusion.
Okay.
I'm also thinking that let's volunteer as professionals our time to helping the person who runs a puzzle shop.
Say more.
You've got the skill sets
Yeah.
to help the person who's less equipped to run an enterprise, because for them, it's survival.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you are an accountant, but you can't help the
Sure.
person who runs this puzzle shop.
Sure.
That's our skill set.
Yeah.
I also think that one of the main things we have to do is talk a little bit more about what it takes to be an entrepreneur.
Say more.
Tell the stories of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Allow people to go spend a day with an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
On Mandela Day, let's spare thought for the entrepreneurs, for what they go through and what it takes. I'm not talking to the corporations because the corporations are organizations. I'm talking to the individuals in the corporations.
Good.
Rethink the way you look at entrepreneurs.
Good.
Especially young people who are entrepreneurs, who are eager, who are driven. All they need, they don't have other vocabulary except I want a mentor. But in actual fact, all they want is somebody to hold their hand so that they can survive and thrive.
Yeah.
And we've got enough human capital that is professional that can give their services to entrepreneurs. Just give your time.
Sure. Oh, wow. Beautiful. So we've spoken resilience, we've spoken funding and access. I just imagine partnerships is also key, right?
Yeah.
And just being able to build this ecosystem where I buy from you and then you buy from Rulani buys from me, and then I buy from Hlami, and then or just partnering and not just going at it alone. I imagine hard as it is. What say you about partnerships?
You know, the story of partnerships and entrepreneurship is an interesting one.
Okay.
If you ask Debucho of the Sofeng, the Sofeng pub in Midlands, he will tell you that I want nothing to do with partnerships. I got bent much earlier in my business.
Okay.
And the partner that I had walked away with my money.
Yes.
And also, if you spoke to Sheldon, he will say, "Hey,
I remember that story.
I went on honeymoon and came back. The business wasn't there. My partner was nowhere to be found."
Yes.
But if you also go to the story that we spoke about, speak to Candice Destin, she'll tell you partnerships are crucial.
Sure.
And if you go and listen to perhaps the story of Veronica Mutlo, who would say, my first client was my company that I used to work for.
Sure.
They were willing to bet on me and partnered with me. And therefore, I'm all for partnerships.
Excellent.
The fourth principle of effectuation theory says leverage partnerships and networks.
Okay.
I think for me, it's always about complementary skills.
Same.
This is what Zibusiso Mkhwanazi of Avatar, he on the 10th of June, he launched his book called Business by Grace.
Okay.
In there, he says, I am running a business because I've got a partner, Veli Ngubane.
Right.
We are a yin and a yang.
Excellent.
We complement each other.
Yeah.
We respect each other. Our fights are never personal.
Sure.
And so me and partnership are for it.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say it depends what your appetite on partnerships is.
Okay.
But a lot of people can make partnerships work. Yeah. Some of them might struggle. Yeah. To a certain extent, in any type of business you're partnering, whether with a customer, with a service provider, that sort of partnership.
Yeah.
But also now it rings true, the whole idea that says, what is the use of owning 10%?
Sure.
Or 100%
of 10 rand.
Of 10 rand, and when you can also just have 2% of it and be a part and parcel of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
What then we are saying to people here is that figure out how you get to your end state.
Okay.
If getting to your end state requires partnerships, sharing of equity, complementary skills, and that's what will take you to where you need to go, do that.
Okay.
If working on your own is your magic, go for that.
I see.
But you cannot know who you are until you test it.
Okay.
So the two examples I gave you of Sheldon, he tested it and it blew in his face. And then you've got Zibusiso Mkhwanazi who said, actually, it worked for me.
Sure.
So for me, I think partnerships are critical. We know that. But I think when it comes to just a share in the pie is always different and unique. You got to learn it. We call this in operations management. Yeah. You must gamble, get onto the field. Take the lessons.
Yes.
And principle number 3 in the book says, the ability to convert a lemon into lemonade is an art. Right. So basically, if at all you've been able to make the relationship work, it means you've got a winning formula.
Excellent.
If it didn't work, find a workaround.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you don't lose sight of your vision. All these entrepreneurs in the book had some form of vision that they were chasing.
Sure.
It was never about the money.
Sure.
It was about pioneering. It was about changing the status quo.
Excellent.
It was living things better than they found them. That underlying why is what separates entrepreneurs coming from the north versus entrepreneurs that are coming from our humble communities.
Sure.
Because their why is far greater than the commercial gains.
Oh, wow. Right. So as we go towards the conclusion, a couple of thoughts. In this age of AI and everything, how do you see AI, I guess, helping us overcome some of the challenges in entrepreneurship, and potentially could this be a game changer for us?
It's a game changer for leaders.
Okay.
It's a game changer for communities. It's a game changer for entrepreneurs.
Good.
Who are in the field, who are embracing a new tool that's going to make them effective.
Okay.
So there's no doubt. It's more like when we first had phones, everybody doubted because they were that big, not accessible, and over time they become.
And then there was theories
and the way things
like
are going to be. So for me, AI is an embrace, like social media, that's going to be a part and parcel of our lives.
Yeah.
The one thing that I want to talk about maybe is the fact that it doesn't matter how great the platform is, it can never replace the role model part.
Wow.
Because you need to touch and feel somebody who's done it.
Sure.
Who tells you that it's hard,
sure.
but look at me, I've done it.
Sure.
So can you.
Sure.
You can read stories. We watch movies. If at all we were okay with watching movies and reading stories and finding characters and said that's what role model looks like, and we went and did it, I think a lot of us will be in a different state.
Yeah.
But the biggest role model is the person you can touch and you can feel. One of the things that we're trying to do with me trying to convert a number of these to case studies, I want people who come to the business school to say, oh, I'm reading about somebody I know. This is a guy from next door. This is a guy who's a friend to a friend.
Yes.
Because when we were studying, we were told about Steve Jobs and people that we could not reach or touch, that we can only dream about. So it won't close that gap, but what it will do, it will make us much more effective.
Excellent.
Much more move our products at scale and operate at a global stage. But I just wanted to just make the warning about entrepreneurship role model remains a contact sport.
Thing. A contact sport.
Yeah.
I don't want to assume, but just...
You have to see the person.
Wow.
You have to engage with the person. You have to touch the person.
Wow.
Because that's only then. That's only then when you say everybody would like to get say, oh, I know.
Yeah.
Because they see him on the socials, like, oh, okay, we've seen go to that community, we like Sheldon.
Yes.
And then immediately you say you like Sheldon, you become curious about him, you read more about him. And then you like what they're about.
Sure.
And then you can talk about Sheldon.
Excellent.
And then you can inspire someone just by telling the story.
Excellent. And you have converted, I think, Sheldon's story into a case study. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
On that one. So as we conclude, we ask all our guests, I think you've been through this process before, these two questions. One is to give our listeners a challenge directly to that camera facing you. And the number two is to, I was going to say recommend a book. But perhaps talk about...
Book recommended.
But perhaps talk about where people might find the books and just sort of the logistics around the book.
So
we start with the challenge.
I think the challenge is please join us in trying to create a platform where young people can know that entrepreneurship is a career pathway.
Sure.
Advocating for entrepreneurship education through interventions, through programs, through role modeling, through engagement, through mentoring. That's what we're asking you to do. Maybe even go and research the word entrepreneurial volunteering. Be a volunteer in participating in skills sharing, knowledge sharing, and also just giving this book out to anyone who's young and let them know that they've got 10 role models. And in terms of the books, I do have 2 books I'd like to recommend.
Oh, go for it.
I'd like to recommend a book by Zibusiso Mkhwanazi, founder of Avatar, and currently the chairperson of that organization. His story is amazing. How he converted 2,000 Rand into an amazing franchise that is international in nature. Excellent. The second book is about Nozi Pochabalala.
Yes, she's here.
The amazing conversation strategist. She launched a book in the past week called After the Fires. Oh my word. I think such an amazing page turner. After reading that book, I couldn't wait to give her a hug. It's one of the most honest autobiographies you can read about. Sure. And it's such a young person who's amazing, who's achieved amazing things.
Oh, Stephen, once again, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. This has been fun.
Lovely. Stephen Zwane, ladies and gentlemen.